Every story appears ordinary until you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is a story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Olajumoke Olatoji. In our major story, President Muhammadu Buhari states commitment to the nation's development and the defeat of the terror group Boko Haram. So in this package, Senate President Bukola Saraki charges Nigerians to work to ensure that the sacrifice of the nation's founding fathers is not in vain. The All Progressives Congress says the nation is on course for a better tomorrow. And outside Nigeria, confusion as Afghanistan security forces and Taliban both claim control of the strategic city of Kunduz as fighting rages. Many thanks for joining us tonight. To begin the news, with President Muhammadu Buhari in a nationwide broadcast this morning to mark the 55th independence anniversary, charged Nigerians on the unity of purpose to celebrate the independence. The president reiterates the efforts to remain committed to promises and on the change matter, especially within the war against Boko Haram, saying his government is not meant for hunting anyone and all hands must be on deck to win.
To join me in working for the nation, my countrymen and women. Every new government inherits problems. Ours was no different. But what Nigerians want are solutions, quick solutions, not a recitation of problems inherited. Accordingly, after consultations with the Vice President, senior party leaders, and the other senior stakeholders, I quickly got down to work on the immediate, medium-term, and long-term problems which we must solve if we are to maintain the confidence which Nigerians so generously bestowed on us in the March elections. And since then, as you know, I toured the neighboring countries.
President Muhammadu Buhari has been advised to intensify efforts in its fight against corruption as Nigeria celebrates its 55 years of independence. A clergy Funsho Ajibode gave the advice today in Osogbo, the Osho State capital, during a march organized by the New Covenant Church to commemorate the Independence Day anniversary. Ajibode stressed the need for Nigerians to be upright in all endeavors, added that the current status of the country is not in tandem with its natural endowments. The march saw participants trekking from Ogoluwa area to Alekuwodo, distributing Nigerian flags and other materials to mark the nation's 55th independence anniversary.
The anti-corruption war should continue. We are in support of it, and then we should also go beyond just the anti-corruption issue. We must begin to look at a way of entrenching righteousness in our system, putting up a kind of a system that is going to work like we have in advanced nations in the world. And if you look around in our nation today, you will realize that a lot of things are misplaced. Nigeria by now is supposed to be bride of nations. The economy is supposed to be vibrant. But you see, the opposite is the case. And so we feel a day like this as a church, we are committed to our nation to proclaim that righteousness is what we need in our land. we do not need corruption. We do not need corruptive leaders. And so that is the essence of our going out today, to proclaim that we need righteousness in our land, righteousness in the high places, and then in the low places in government, and then in the public sector. Everywhere we need righteousness.
President of the Senate, Bukola Saraki, on Thursday turned up at the presidential villa alongside other dignitaries for ceremonies marking the nation's 55th independence anniversary. It was the first time he would be seen publicly at the State House since he emerged Senate President against the wish of the leadership of the ruling All Progressives Congress. The event was the ceremonial change of guards at the forecourt of the seat of power.
Also, Nigeria, the new Nigeria, do not be business as usual, and will reposition and meet those aspirations, addressing the issue of poverty, creating better lives for our people. But as we do that, we must celebrate what we've been able to achieve. Because there were many times during that journey that a lot of people didn't give us a chance to be able to where we are today. And many countries have not been able to do it. Despite all this, we've been able to get to that point. We get to the brink, but at the end of the day, we stand firm and we deliver. That is success. What is left, we will do it together. We're determined to do it for the sake of those who have our forefathers who have worked so hard to get us here, for the sake of the younger ones who are behind and looking forward. We will not let you down. I think that we are lucky with the kind of leadership being provided by Mr. President to forthrightness. We'll get there.
Famine would help the country to move forward. And honestly, I wish him all the best, and will give him all the support to do what he has to do in order to really reduce the damage corruption has been doing for the country.
The All Progressives Congress is convinced that Nigeria is now on the path of greatness after 55 years of wandering in the wilderness. Party Chairman John Odighiego explained that the leadership style of President Buhari will bring about the desired change that Nigerians are yearning for. The APC chairman spoke on the sidelines of the Independence Day anniversary celebrations at the presidential villa in Abuja. Lagos State has joined other states and indeed Nigerians in the 55th independence anniversary celebration, with the state's governor Akinwumi Ambode assuring Lagosians and all Nigerians that better days lie ahead. Our correspondent Petrus Keaston was at the parade and filed on this report presented from our studios. Though most Nigerians agree that the nation has reasons to celebrate at 55, but many are however concerned and eager to experience changes in the present administration. They say the change needs to be felt by the ordinary Nigerians. Edward Ogungbesan, former Deputy Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, says the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration is gradually moving and improving from the immediate past governments.
Nigeria is a nation that should be working, but we are running. Yes, indeed, I'm proud to be a Nigerian. This is a great country that has very great potentials, and things are getting better. If you are talking of the present government, that is the Buhari administration, which came on board about 117 days ago or thereabout. Yes, it promised change, and I believe the changes that it promised are positive.
As Nigeria celebrates its 55th Independence Day anniversary, Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has declared a state of emergency in the education sector. He also pardoned commuted the death sentence passed on 5 convicts to prison term. The governor made the announcement as an Independence Day observance at the Ahmadu Bello Stadium in Kaduna. Amina Nebi, who was at the report, presented from our studios.
Kaduna State has for years not witnessed an Independence Day celebration as a result of the security situation in northern Nigeria. But with a new government in place, there was a low-key celebration amidst tight security. Governor Nasir El-Rufai used the occasion to declare state of emergency on education. In separate interviews, Police Commissioner Umar Shehu and the head of the Civil Defense Corps, Amadou Bomo, expressed happiness for a successful celebration.
And I'm happy that the government and the people of Kaduna State has interest in security and has contributed greatly to reach the position we found ourselves crime-wise in this command.
Well, it appears all of us are happy because we thank God Almighty Allah for bringing us today to witness 55th independence anniversary. And you can see what is happening in this country, that we have achieved a lot and we are hoping to achieve more. We are going to achieve more. That's the expectation, because when you look at it, for quite a number of years, we have not been opportune to celebrate independence anniversary. But you can see now today, including children from primary and secondary school are here.
Students from over 55 nursery and primary schools took part in the march past. The event also had in attendance one woman who was always dressed in national colors at major occasions.
Happy birthday of 1st October. For God give them all they want, good health and grow.
God bless Nigeria. Good people of Republic of Nigeria, we are one, and let us unite to develop our country, to develop our culture. Let us stop tribalism, religion. We are one, and God bless our president.
The Kaduna State Governor also pardoned 5 prisoners who are on the death row. They are now to serve terms in prison, while 5 others serving sentences of 3 years and above were released on the basis of good behavior or time served already.
As Nigerians celebrate their country's independence anniversary, the people of Taraba State are having a low-key celebration of the day. This is in line with the government's announcement after the Hajj stampede. Oda Godwin reports from Jalingo.
The town looks empty and nothing seems to be happening. However, some people reflecting back on Nigeria's journey to nationhood are grateful to God for taking Nigeria this far, despite the numerous challenges.
I would say this nation is so far so good. The reason why I say so is because there are a lot of things that have happened in this nation that if it were in other nations, they would have been divided by now. But Nigeria is still one today. I think this calls for celebration.
God, being so faithful, kept Nigeria, especially during the last election. God proved to people that no matter the prophecies, it is what he says concerning the country that will stand.
Some, however, commend the present administration for its effort in combating corruption, and they remain optimistic that Nigeria will get better.
I see Nigeria moving fast in terms of physical development, because we have learned a lot of things. We have learned a lot of political lessons in this country. And today we have a leader at the helm of affairs at the national level that people respect. I'm sure the president is somebody that feels the pressure of the honor that Nigerians bestow upon him.
President Muhammadu Buhari is actually a man that we know to have zero tolerance for corruption. And that has been the bane of the society. That has been the problem with Nigeria over the years. And in the next few years, I see Nigeria that would actually have corruption reduced to the barest minimum.
For some, Nigeria has a long way to reach its original place with the numerous challenges it has been facing.
I don't know what to say about it though. I only know they are celebrating, but me, as you can see, we are home now. We are not doing anything. I couldn't even go out with my car because there's no money for fare.
As far as I'm concerned, we're still very slow. We've not met the needs of the society. Other countries that came on board before us, at least they are on the comfortable ladder. But the case of Nigeria, we're still hoping. We're still hoping that we'll get there, but we are not yet there. What am I talking about? When you look at our situation socially, politically, economically, compared to other countries, we still have a long way to go.
They, however, agree that as Nigeria attains 55 years of independence, ethnic and religious differences should be set aside. Udwa Godwin, CoreTV News.
Still in Taraba State, where Governor Darius Ishaku has granted state pardon to 12 prisoners in commemoration of the nation's 55th independence anniversary. He disclosed this during a statewide Independence Day broadcast, where he also announced the low-key celebration. This, according to Governor Ishaku, is as a result of the death of Quantizing Abbas Sambo and all the Nigerians during the recent Hajj stampede in Mina, Saudi Arabia.
Value to our lives and the lives of our fellow citizens wherever we are, as a government, as politicians, as civil servants, as entrepreneurs, as traditional rulers, as students, and overall as bona fide citizens of Taraba State in particular and Nigeria in general. I am aware that the army of stakeholders, crop of civil servants, and our teeming electorates who supported us massively during the last elections are expecting more from this administration and from Taraba State government on a day like this and in the days ahead. With a deep sense of responsibility and considering the intricacies of the last 3 years that plunged the state into a political turmoil and financial crisis, I wish to state that we are working assiduously to get this administration running at the desired pace.
Back after this break with details of the Independence Day protest at the Kayode Oluyemi Stadium in Ado-Ekiti. Don't go away.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and new TT.
For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to her husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will stand for Yoruba land, will be strong man. We don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
If you're just joining us, this is CoreTV Primetime News. A quick reminder of our major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari restates commitments to the nation's development and the defeat of the terror group Boko Haram. Senate President Bukola Saraki charges Nigerians to work to ensure that the sacrifice of the nation's founding fathers is not in vain. The All Progressives Congress says the nation is on course for a better tomorrow. For more news and other programs, please visit our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/CoreTV News. You can follow us on Twitter at CoreTV News NG. Also visit our YouTube channel at youtube.com/CoreTV then News. The 55th Independence Day celebration was marked in Cross River State with pomp and pageantry at the Brigadier U.J. Esuna Stadium in Calabar, the state capital. Government officials led by the state governor Ben Ayade and the deputy governor Iware Eso thronged the 20,000 capacity stadium. Politicians, security operatives, students, civil society groups, royal fathers and residents of Cross River State graced the occasion. Among dignitaries present is Senator Florence Itagua, His Royal Highness Atubo Basi Duke, Chairman of Atubo's Traditional Council, co-represented His Eminence Edudem Ekwo Okanabasa the Fifth, the Obong of Calabar, the State Chief Judge and other members of the executive and legislative arm of the state government. A day which would have been the commemoration of Nigeria's independence in 19th year creation of Ekiti State, Ado-Ekiti, the Ekiti State capital, was gripped with protest from coalition of students. The students took to the streets alleging the arrest of PL President Olusegun Kolakpo by the Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayoje and total neglect of students' education. The Deputy Governor, however, denies this allegation. Our correspondent Rashid has more.
The Oluyemi Kayode Stadium in Ado-Ekiti has been the yearly venue of independence celebration, but no action is recorded. Instead, the action is taken to the streets of Ado-Ekiti by students in protest against the state government. Their grouse is about the harsh condition attached to students' bursary and scholarship and the arrest of the union president by the deputy governor, Kolakpo Eleka.
About 2 weeks ago, I went to the scholarship board to agitate for my people about the bursary, and on getting to that place, being agitating, once they don't sign, they don't agree with what I'm saying. That's the reason why I was arrested. The intimidation is too much by the deputy governor of Ekiti State.
The Commission of Education was there. And when we were there, we were made to understand the fact that the deputy governor of the state has interest in this case.
The students also fought the recently held education summit, while representatives of the state-owned university decry neglect.
They did education summit in which none of the student union leader in Ekiti State is in attendance. They mobilized Okada Rider in Yaloja.
How will you tell the students in Maduguri, in John, like his state students, to come down to his state collect bursary?
We have observed that even the state government is not ready to listen to student agitations. Why?
The state government, however, denies the allegation while reinstating its commitment to students' welfare in the state.
That is not true, because as at the time the student was arrested, the deputy governor was attending the economic council meeting in Abuja. We want to pay the bursary. We want it to be an online thing, so that it will be a direct contract between the government and the students.
The end to this may still be far in sight as the student body vow to press home their demands further. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
The hope of Kwara State residents to celebrate the Independence Day anniversary was dashed by the state government. The cancellation, according to the state government, is as a result of security reports gathered on the disruption of the celebration by hoodlums. Ilorin residents, however, questioned the rationale behind the cancellation. Rashid has more once again. While some states did not make preparation for the independence anniversary, the case of Kwara State is of significance as the celebration was cancelled barely hours to its commencement. The Ilorin Metropolitan Square, which was the look of celebration, is later stripped of the decoration, while entertainers moved their equipment back home in disappointment. Security agents earlier drafted to the place also went back to their base without carrying any duty. While stating the reasons for the cancellation of the event, the senior special assistant to the government media, Muideen Akorede, says the government received genuine information on the plan to disrupt the program from forces outside the state.
We received credible information, credible security reports from all the security agencies that certain people have come from outside the state to connive with certain elements within the state to cause trouble during the Independence Parade at the Metro Square in Ilorin. And, in view of the numbers of people expected there, the state government considered it expedient to cancel the parade, not minding the amount of money that had been invested already, not minding the amount of work that had gone in there already, not minding that our people were looking forward to that celebration and the parade. The government feels, rightly too, that the security of those who will be there and those within the town is much more important than the celebration, which, by the grace of God, we will have others anyway. So that was the reason why the government had to cancel that celebration.
Some citizens, however, not happy, blaming the cancellation on poor governance, even as the government issues stern warning to troublemakers.
The cancellation of the celebration of Independence Day in Kwara State is a product of the political environment in Kwara State. Homo sapiens, that is humans, wherever is their habitat, either Africa, Asia, or Europe, envisages the same Nigerian characteristic and will react when the time comes. So the people of Kwara are angry because they are hungry.
It's not good the way the council did. They would have tried and even do it, even if in a small package, they just try and do it. But cancelling it, I didn't think anybody is trying to do anything per se. Everything is already calm, so there's nothing anybody can do about that one.
Our state is a state of harmony. We have that reputation, and that is something the Ahmed administration is determined to maintain with all legal resources at its disposal. The government, in conjunction with the police, will go after anyone found to be involved in this acts. I believe strongly, we believe strongly that this is the handiwork of certain political elements who have an agenda of disrupting the peace of the state for reasons we don't know yet, but which the security agencies have assured us, which Governor Ahmed is determined to foil, because he swore an oath to look after the welfare and security of the people of Kwara State.
The hitherto state of harmony, now becoming a state of suspicion and protest, is raising concerns among political observers. Nigerians have been speaking on what they expect as the present administration continues on its course of achieving its change mantra. Correspondent Nate Labarika spoke to some Nigerians on the occasion of this nation's Independence Day. Has details in this report presented from our studios. Though most Nigerians agree that the nation has reasons to celebrate at 55, but many are however concerned and eager to experience changes in the present administration. They say the change needs to be felt by the ordinary Nigerians. Edward Ogungbeson, former Deputy Speaker of Ogun State House of Assembly, says the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration is gradually moving and improving from the immediate past government.
Nigeria is a nation that should be working, but we are running. Yes, indeed, I'm proud to be a Nigerian. This is a great country that has very great potentials, and things are getting better. If you are talking of the present government, that is the Buhari administration, which came on board about 117 days ago or thereabouts. Yes, he promised change, and I believe the changes that he promised are positive changes. It is too early in the day or too short a time to judge the administration. It will not be fair. Like I told you, non-partisan. So when I make my comments, I'm being very, very, very objective. We hope that the Buhari administration will move Nigeria forward. He has promised to move Nigeria forward.
For Lance Musa, an industrialist, is positive of what he described as the inevitability of the change being preached by the present government.
I think I'm very proud to be in Nigeria. I'm very, very proud because as an industrialist, I can tell you that for now, my cost of production have come down because I now have NEPA power to produce, which before nobody can even think about it. That singular act for me is very important.
For these Nigerians, however, they contend the stock is cheap, and what is needed is real action that will impact positively on the lives of the people.
We have a new government now, so my opinion, by the grace of God, things will be better than before. Because before, there's no hope. But by the grace of God, we are hope now.
We thank God for the new government. We thank God because the new government is a government that have a good mind for people, for the Nigerians. We can see the changes.
Nigeria is improving now. During the Sebaba, everything is okay. I'm very happy for Buhari, so everything has changed now.
Buhari is a man of virtue. He has really tried. I think the man is doing fine.
But until then, as the saying goes, The beat goes on. Senator representing Bauchi Central Hamaiza Misau has said that Senate President Bukola Saraki is not responsible for the inability of Senator Ahmed Nawad to emerge as the majority leader in line with the proposal of the leadership of the All Progressives Congress. Misau explained members of the Northeast Caucus of the APC in the Senate overwhelmingly voted against the decision and preference for Senator Aliun Dume. He recalled that out of the 11 senators who are members of the caucus, 8 voted for Ndume while 3 opted for Lawan. Senator Misau noted that explanation became necessary in view of widespread belief that the Senate President deliberately antagonized the party leadership by refusing to name Lawan and the others into leadership positions. The Bauchi senator added that many people overrate the powers of the Senate President, whom he says must always do what his colleagues want and must even carry them along at all times. He added that contrary to speculations in some quarters, majority of the senators are in support of Saraki, even in spite of the ongoing trial at the Code of Conduct Tribunal. As part of its contribution to the growth of the society, the Nasrullah Party Society of Nigeria, NASFAT, organized the Walk for Life to encourage Nigerians cultivate a healthy habit of keeping fit and also mark the nation's 55th independence anniversary. Our correspondent took part in the work, has the details in this report presented from our studios, but we'll bring you details of that report subsequently. The Nasrullah Party Society of Nigeria is commiserated with the families of those who lost their lives during the just concluded holy pilgrimage in Mina, Saudi Arabia. In a statement personally signed by its president, Camille Bolarua, the society prayed to the Almighty Allah to grant the victims eternal rest, urging them to take solace in the words of Allah. The society also enjoined the Ummah to avoid any comments capable of undermining the unity of Islam as the Saudi authorities proceed with the investigation into the stampede. The society also appealed to the Saudi authorities to provide adequate medical care for all those who sustained injuries during the stampede and to compensate the affected families. We'll take another quick break. I'll be back on business, sports, and stories from outside Nigeria. Please stay with us.
To serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith. The laborer, our heroes past, shall never be in vain.
Some movable assets, including motor vehicles and bikes, may soon be approved as eligible loan collateral for micro, small and medium enterprises in Nigeria. Now, this comes with the establishment of a national collateral registry by the Central Bank of Nigeria to reduce the difficulties encountered by SMEs in accessing funds to develop their businesses. The Managing Director of CRC Credit Bureau Limited, Tunde Kukwola, who confirmed this development in an electronic mail, listed the other items that may be acceptable as collateral to include movable capital equipment used in manufacturing or production. According to him, the use of landed properties and buildings will no longer be emphasized for small business operators who have valuable movable assets that can be used to secure funding. Part of the regulations established by the CBN for the operation of the collateral registry is that a security agreement between the borrower and the secured creditor, that is the bank, will reflect the intent of the parties to create a security interest, identify the secured creditor and the debtor, and describe the secured obligation. The agreement will also include the maximum amount for which the security interest is enforceable, describe the collateral adequately, and indicates the tenor of the amount secured. A fast fighting has continued between Afghan forces and the Taliban in Afghanistan's northern city of Kunduz, despite government claims that it has regained control of the city. Militants have reportedly pushed back into the heart of the city, and intense clashes are going on over the governor's office. Meanwhile, the Taliban has denied the city has been retaken. Kunduz was the first major center to fall to the Taliban in 14 years, as heavy fighting continued. Reports revealed that the doctors were struggling to cope with a high number of injured people coming in. Now, Russia has launched a series of airstrikes in Syria for a second day, targeting rebel-held positions in the northwest held by the Army of Conquest Rebel Alliance, as well as areas in Homs and Amma provinces. Russia said it struck 12 Islamic State IS positions in 24 hours, destroying a command center and 2 armed depots. Russia carried out about 24 missions on Wednesday, but the U.S. faced the targeted non-IS opponents of Russia's ally. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad, according to reports, the strike hit areas near the strategic town of Jish al-Shagam, as well as areas in Idlib province and Hama province further south. Now, Iran says the number of its citizens who died in the Hajj stampede in Saudi Arabia last week has reached 464, which is double the previous toll. Iranian authorities say there is no longer hope of finding any of the country's missing pilgrims alive. According to Saudi officials, 769 people died in the crash in Mina near Mecca, and 934 were injured. Iranian officials allege that the overall number of deaths is now more than 1,000. Pakistan, India and Indonesia have also suggested death toll may be higher than the 769 as reported by Saudi Arabia. Saudi authorities have not released a breakdown of victims by nationality, but a tally of the numbers of deaths released by individual countries adds up to more than the official figure. And in the world of sports, Cristiano Ronaldo managed to shake off the Malmo defense to score twice and edge closer to becoming Real Madrid's greater goal poacher on Wednesday. The Portuguese, having netted his 81st and 82nd Champions League goals against the Swedish side, is now tied with Raul as the club's top scorer of all time with 323 goals. The Portuguese superstar expressed his happiness and pride at reaching the milestone. Though he was well shackled for most of the night by the dogged Malmo defense, Ronaldo only sporadically lighted up the Swedish night with his brilliance. Thankfully for Madrid, it was enough to secure all 3 points and take them to the top of Group A. Nigeria's Ahmed Musa was on the score sheet in CSK in Moscow 3-2 defeat of PSV Eindhoven in the UEFA Champions League game played at the Arena Khimki on Wednesday night. The game, which is known as lucky sides between the competition, saw the former Kano Police forward net the first goal on the encounter in the 8 minutes. Zoran Torkelson's swinging corner from the right dropped to the feet of Musa, who turned the table into the net after reacting faster than any of the PSV players around him. CSKV doubled the advantage when Dombia finished off Mario Fernandez's perfect right-wing cross, his looping header going up and over the outstretched right arm of Jorin Rez in the visiting goal. Dombia's second out of the game came from the sports who had been sent the wrong way after he had conceded the foul by Holton Toshik's charged forward goal with an ill-timed lunge. Nevertheless, Philip Corker's men very nearly turned the result around with a valiant second-half fight back led by Mason Leston, who netted a pair of goals of his own. Wales are 1 place behind Brazil after reaching an all-time high of 8th in the FIFA World Football Rankings. Will stay above England, who remain at 10th, while Northern Ireland move up 6 places to 35th. It is a 6-year high for the Northern Irish, while Scotland are down 9 to 40th, and the Republic of Ireland slip 3 places to 54th. World Cup winners Germany have moved back to 2nd place in the rankings behind Argentina. The new list takes into account the Euro 2016 qualifiers in September. Wales won is Cyrus before a home draw, closer to qualification for their first major tournament since 1958. Austria is celebrating their highest ever place in 11 after stealing a place at Euro 2016, while the biggest mover is Liberia, rising 6 places to 95. Well, that's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News tonight, but before we go, a quick reminder of our major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari restates commitment to the nation's development and the defeat of the terror group Boko Haram. Many thanks for staying here with us. I am Elijah Makil. Do have a wonderful night. Just happy Independence, Niger.